Yes, guys! Welcome back to another episode of the Bootcast podcast. Now, I have to be energetic and I have to get going right now because United got horribly shit on today, and I am depressed. It has been they got dunked on. My son's team got to play for the first time today. We had a doubleheader, so 2 games, 2 hours. Lost both. It's been a long day. Okay,
yeah, you guys made Harvey Barnes look like Mbappe. It was awesome,
dude. You know Harvey Barnes? It's crazy because he's not like terrible, but he's not great. But yeah, we made him seem like prime.
I watched that game and I was telling my wife, I was like, "Yeah, Harvey Barnes is like he's probably like a solid 75 on FIFA." I was like, he's not like extremely fast or doesn't have like these like crazy qualities. I was like, he looks really good right now.
You just rate somebody on a FIFA score. I love that.
I love that. It's like basic.
He gets a Player of the Week card that has him at like 99 pace.
Yeah,
I hope
like,
so.
Yeah, and he like just the entrance. But how you guys doing, Colby? How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. Dude, yesterday, bro, we left so early because my son was supposed to have a club game in Frisco, and like the club kids have to get there early. Mm-hmm. They freaking double booked this field. It was an hour. It was toll. I think I paid $14 worth of tolls there and back. But like it was so crappy, dude. Like we got there and it was like, oh, sorry, we got to reschedule. I was like,
oh,
that's the worst.
That's where you hit him with that meme, that like the I'm pissed.
Yeah,
royally pissed.
Oh, for sure. And we invited my in-laws and stuff too, so they drove too. I was like, sorry,
just like a waste of 2 hours in the car.
Yeah. Awful.
Oh, that's brutal.
Awful.
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Matt, how you doing today, man?
Doing good. Can't complain. It's been a nice weekend. We had our game today. We ended up tying, but it was probably the best team in our league.
Okay.
And we came back from a deficit, so
nice.
Can't complain too much about that.
What was the final score?
2-2.
2-2. Nice. Lots of
2-2s. 2 free kick goals. Each team had one. It's pretty nice.
Did you bend it like rice?
Nah, I didn't take it.
That's the most disrespectful free kick I've ever seen in my life, by the way.
Dude.
Are you captaining this team? Did you have the captain's armband at one point?
Yeah. I'm still captain on this team. It's going well.
So do you have to rally these guys? Like when you're in a deficit, are you like going like, "Come on, guys, like let's go"? You know, like
I'm trying, dude. A lot of these kids, like I call them kids because I'm 29, and a lot of these players are like 22. Yeah. The one kid on our team is like actually 17.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's filthy good. So
what is your kind of like captain style? Are you like a Roy Keane where you're like screaming? Or are you kind of like I don't know, a Bruno? You lead by example. Like what kind of captain are you?
I try to be more lead by example, and I like don't really like chirp up unless like I absolutely have to. I try to like let people figure it out, like give a little leeway, and then if shit's not getting figured out, then I'm like, all right, fuck.
Okay.
Like, with those kids in shape,
yeah.
That's where he like pulls his hair back. He's like, it's time to get serious.
Yeah. No, I pull the headband off and then
it's like
fix the hair. I'm like, all right, guys.
That Christian Bale psycho like starts coming out. Like,
oh, jeez.
I gotta go rip these guys apart.
All right, cool. So let's get into this. We got some things to talk about. Where do we want to start? This is a democracy here. What boots do we want to start with? There's some couple leaks, some things literally on the horizon. I think like tomorrow or the next day.
Let's go with the Mbappes because I thought James Boot Wizard had like a great theory about these Mbappes and that they weren't supposed to be released this early, but because Arsenal was up 2-0 on aggregate against Real Madrid, like Madrid might get kicked out. 3-0, excuse me.
Yeah, 3-0.
So
come on.
So it looks like unless it's a crazy, next game, then these had to be shown in the final. So checks out.
But you know what's crazy? Before we get distracted, I don't know if you guys saw the game today. Did you guys see him stamp that Deportivo player?
God. Yeah.
Oh my! Came in out of no, and that guy's leg was like,
dude.
Oh.
I don't remember. Did he like come off the field? Was he injured or? Do you know what happened?
I didn't see. I just saw him laying on the floor, and I was like, "Oh, that's done."
Dude, I thought when I first saw the clip, I thought he broke his leg. Like I actually thought he broke his leg. I was like, "Holy
dude!" Yeah,
shit.
It looked like a Roy Keane, like Vinny Jones, like classic hard man, like stomp on somebody. I was like, "Damn!" Yeah. So there goes the what is it? The Air Max boots. We're not going to see those. And who knows? He got a violent offense. I don't even know. Will we see him in Champions League? Can he play in Champions League with a league red card like that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I don't know if they cross either.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't cross.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, James put out a great thought. Matt, what do you think? Do you think these were rushed to just kind of let people see them?
Yeah. I mean, why would they release these like a week after the Air Max ones? You know, I mean, we've seen a lot of colorways come out like a week later, like with Puma and everything currently, but I think it was definitely rushed. They're like we needed the awareness. We needed people to see him wear these in the Champions League. So
that's fair. Yeah. I don't know. Part of me wants to be like, yeah, it's rushed and it's a great idea, but then I kind of look at like what Adidas is doing with, especially like the Predator, and they're like, oh, here's the year of the snake. Oh, here's this special vert. Oh, here's another special vert. Like, so it's like Jude's wearing like one boot a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think we had like, I think we had like the red ones I have, the Pure Victories, then the year of the snake, I lost my train of thought.
Team Guys at some point, but I don't even know when that came in. There was some before the Team Guys.
What was the other one that I'm missing? And it was another special colorway.
Well,
we had the whiteout and blackouts.
I like totally just spaced on where my thought was going. There was another pred that came out, and it was one for like one
moments.
Game. Moments. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Moments
Thank
pred.
you. So yeah, so we had these Pure Victories, the Moments, the Year of the Snake, and then we had like one other one all come out within like a week of each other. I think Trent wore the Moments for like a game, and then he was back out of them. So while I would normally say yeah, I could see it being rushed, and I think that does play a small factor. Part of me just wonders if honestly brands like Nike and Puma are looking at what Adidas is doing, especially with the Pred, and like, look at much shit they're pushing out. Let's push more out.
Right.
Like the chromatic pack. Nobody wore that, and that thing sold out.
Dude, that was a fine pack though.
Yeah, great looking pack.
That was stupid. Stupid for them to not wear that, but
that is dumb.
Yeah,
whatever.
But again, it's like this beautiful pack. No, they came out. Nobody. The pink boots came out. What was that pack called? Guys, I can't remember. I always criticize other YouTubers. Like, how do you not remember, you idiots? But it's like, you know, those pink ones came out, and then Matt pointed out we basically got like the flip-flop colorway, and now everybody's wearing the baby blue with the pink accents already.
Yep.
So it's just like, they're like, boom, boom, like, let's keep it going. Let's keep this ball going. So I don't know, man. But I want to say yeah, but I also think that these brands are like genius enough to just be like, yeah, we'll just put him in those Hypervenom looking, or the Air Max boots for 2 games. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, at this point, I mean, right? I mean, Air Max. For Air Maxes, like if you're nostalgic, that's going to carry more than just the players that's wearing them. These Mbappe ones, like they do. I mean, that was actually smart of Nike. They should come out for the second leg of this Champions League game. I like them, bro. I'm a sucker for a purple boot. I like the gold accents on these, like the KM, like whatever. But yeah, I love deep purple like this.
That's fair. Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the purple. I like the designs, like not too crazy. It's pretty simple. I don't know if you guys have watched J Mike's video about it. He kind of went through like the full history of the Mbappe boots. And apparently there's like Easter eggs in this design that like go back to like the previous boots he's had, which is pretty cool, but it's not like out there in your face. He also like ranks them, and he has this at like 3rd behind the berries and his like Ninja Turtle ones, which I think is fair. I think that it looks pretty good. I would probably put it at 3rd place as far as the Mbappe boots go too.
How do you feel about them doing a purple Mbappe boot after they just on the last gen do a purple Mbappe boot, where it was like the African heritage one? It had like the blue sole blade and the little pattern. I don't remember that one doing super well. I think that was
more burgundy.
Oh, is it? I don't know. I never saw him in person.
Yeah.
And I don't watch PSG, so I'm not going to pretend to be like, oh yeah, I remember seeing them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're fine. But again, I agree with Matt. I love the little Easter eggs, like the Bondi and the swoosh, the lightning bolt swoosh from the berries, stuff like that. I think that's cool, because to me that shows a brand who is actually trying. And again, I gave Nike their props before with, I think it was the 95s last week. I got to give them props. Like when they put the effort, I think Nike can be like almost unrivaled. Like in all seriousness, like if they really, they're that brand. Like, they're like super buff and massive, and they like lift weights, and they're like, oh yeah, this is heavy. But they're like, okay, I'm gonna max out. Then you're like, holy shit, you can move some weight. And that's how I kind of feel when they try on a boot.
Yeah, I agree. Specifically around design. I think Nike is so good at like creating a design and then like telling a story around it.
For sure. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Is there anything else coming out? Do we talk about the Barry New Balances? Do we talk about those? Yeah, the New Balance Furon, the Barry colorway, Sokka wore 'em, the purple.
Oh, the new colors.
Yeah, did we talk about those?
I don't think so. It's like the purplish berry color for the Furon, and then the tequila has like that yellow with the pink and black accents.
Yeah. While Kobe looks, I'm going to start this one off. The tequila to me is super boring. It reminds me of like a white boot that's been left out in the sun too long, so it kind of ages. You know what I mean? Where they get crappy looking. So tequila, not my thing. The Furon. The Furon I actually really like. And like our friend LJ got to go to the release of it. He was showing off some cool stuff. Chris Pottle was there too. So I agree with like all of our friend group. I think purple's underutilized. So I give New Balance major props for going for it. And they went for it.
No, I would agree. I really like purple when it comes to boots. I agree it should be used more. And with this Furon, I think it looks really good. The design, the execution. And I would agree for the most part on the tequilas. They're not my favorite, but I don't hate them either. I think they're still like a good looking colorway. They're not terrible.
Okay.
Dude, is this finally going to be the last tequila? Like, when are they going to switch? I thought they were going to be done like 3 tequilas ago. Like, this is wild. I am a fan of the Furon though. That's a really nice colorway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The what's the other tequila? It kind of reminds me too of those semi-released Raheem Sterling ones we saw, Matt. The ice cream.
The ice cream cones. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of had that same hue. So I was like, maybe leftover knit. Who knows?
Maybe.
Right. It's a Puma move to kind of go.
That is a Puma move.
Orange to slightly lighter orange. How about that?
Yeah.
Your
There
cream to
is
yellow.
there's no 442 Elite in this pack for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know. You guys remember the 442 V2 Pro came out, and I feel like that one got a lot of love because it was like kangaroo leather, it was wide, it was light, it was like kind of revamped, and it got a lot of love from Unisport. And I feel like this 442 hasn't gotten nearly as much, and I'm not sure exactly what the reason is on that. Do you guys have thoughts there?
Honestly, I think it's because it's synthetic.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's just like a who cares boot. It's kind of like the Premier. It's
Right.
just that it's like a modern old school boot. So I just think people are like, why would I spend almost $200 on this? Like I'd rather get a takedown or something like that. You know, I'm not saying I agree with the ideology, but yeah, I think that's kind of how people feel. So they're just like, who cares?
Yeah, I think the 442 V2 Pro got the Icon 2 treatment, if you will, that's out right now. So I wonder if like what the 442 had, the Icon 2 now has for people. You know what I mean?
I was just gonna say that. I think
great.
the Icon 2 kind of cannibalized the market when it comes to like slightly cheaper, still top end boots. So.
Yeah, I think that took its place, is why we're not seeing as much like 442 Elite love.
Yeah. That's I didn't even think about that, but now you guys both put that out. That's great. All right, so before we get into today's topic, you both have a boot that we need to get updates on. Matt got a new release. I think you can show him, Matt, right?
Yep.
Okay, wait, before you show him. Don't show him yet.
Okay.
So, before we get into this, I'm going to kind of give a preface of what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about like boot generations and like either top 3 upgrades or like top 3 downgrades. So either like a boot that was great and then the next gen was like total cheeks, or a silo that was like total cheeks that got great. So Matt, you have a boot where I've heard mixed things. Some people tend to like this one better than the standard release, and some people are not liking it nearly as much. So show us your boot. Dun, da, da, da. Look how pink those are. Those are the pinkest boots I've ever seen.
They're so pink.
Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
so pink.
Dude, the reflective elements too. Wow.
I know.
That is a shiny
that
boot.
is a great looking boot, but damn that. Oh, they even got a little effect on the sole plate.
Yeah, it's like a little shimmer to it.
Yeah. Okay. So Matt, you have been integral with some of the press release stuff with the Shadow Pro 3. So you kind of have used the regular ones off and on. Now you have the I don't know the snakeskin one, whatever the heck it's called. Give us your thoughts. Like, what are you thinking?
So my thoughts about this is these look sick. They're very good looking. I think they look better design wise over the standard version.
Okay.
But that's literally it. That is the only thing this is better at is the looks. Everything else is worse. The upper is stiffer. You don't get the texture that you get on the standard with like the ribs. So it feels different on the ball. It's also heavier because of it being fully coated in this like overlay. And it's also a lot thicker, which I think comes from that. And I think the thickness honestly comes from like them trying to create, I don't know if you can see it on camera, create like this snakeskin texture, which you can feel in hand, but like on the ball, it's like a smooth boot. Yeah, they're not what I hoped they would be when I saw them. And anyone that is interested in the Shadow Pro 3, I would just get the standard version because these are also more expensive.
Okay.
Dude. You know what this is to me? This is like an Under Armour Cosmic Speed, like essentially.
Yeah. Dude,
that. I mean,
perfect.
It's so weird because like we like literally shit on all the Cosmic Speed boots that have come out. Like we're like, oh, this looks cool, but like it just ruins the grip knit texture, and like the standard version's a much better boot. And then Under Armour's like, hold my beer. Like we're just gonna do like a snakeskin version of like AKA Cosmic Speed Shadow. Like I don't know, man. That's what it looks like to me anyway.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you before you go on. Does it have the ribs at all and they're just coated, or there's no ribs at all?
No ribs. And you could tell too because if you see a standard version, the ribs are also on the tongue.
Okay.
So it's like the whole knit is set up that way. With this, it's just standard knit on the tongue. It's not ribbed. So literally no ribs at all.
So I thought aren't the ribs like kind of integral to the design and like the performance of the boot?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair. Love
I
it.
thought exactly. I'm like, It doesn't feel like I've obviously tried the standard ones on. It doesn't feel like it at all initially on feet. Like the amount of extra stiffness you get from this initially out of the box, it's like night and day. I think James did a good job explaining it that way too. Just completely different. I will say, to give some type of optimism or hope on this boot, it does feel like it has potential to break in. I just don't know how long that's going to take. So I will say I wore them around my house for a little bit, and they were not as stiff as they were when I put them on, just from wearing around the house. So I'm going to try to power through and see if I can break them in and go from there.
Okay. Yeah, Colby, man, I think you just have said it and like summarized it perfectly. Like, this is the Cosmic Speed.
Yeah.
They put a dumb layer of something over the great parts. It's like they took the best part of the boot and like get rid of that. Like prime, all flash, no substance. Like right there.
Exactly.
Same with the Cosmic Speed.
100%. Yep.
So I'm gonna say I'm gonna say that you probably have a little bit of buyer's remorse with them. Maybe get on sale.
Yeah, I mean, if you find these on sale and you want to try them out, yeah, I think they're worth it. I would say I have buyer's remorse, but I did not pay for these, so.
Okay, well, you shouldn't have said that.
Well,
You should be like, yeah, I'm fucking pissed.
yeah, but.
All right, well, thank you for the update on the underwears. Now, Colby, we've been on Tequila Watch, all right? We have been on Tequila V5, what we're dubbing V5.
Yeah.
They look like they've been worn.
Yep.
Give the people what they want. Tell us about it. Because you made hold on. You made some bold ass statements.
Don't go
to
through the
me to
messages,
Matt.
Justin.
Hold on.
Come on.
Time out.
These are real time thoughts here. Okay.
This is the part where you got to mute yourself. Okay. You made this. We're recording this on what? Monday, April 13th, 2025.
Yep.
On April 12th, 2025. You gassed these up more than anything
They're
else.
great boots.
Hold on. You're like, guys, oh my God. This is This is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'll never wear another boot. Yeah, it's better than it's better than anything.
Yeah,
and
he said the only boot that would be better is the X-Fly Pro 3.
Yes,
but that he hasn't tried yet.
Yes,
I'm saying like for this. Okay,
hold on. Okay,
keep going.
That was April 12th. I think you sent it like in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like an hour ago before we recorded this. Recorded at like 9:30 at night our time. An hour before that, you're like, all right, hold on. I may have jumped the gun a little bit. It's great, but there's some issues. So, per usual, Colby has gassed up a boot and then worn it one more time and been like, actually, I don't love these.
You guys should know me by now.
So take it, my friend.
Oh my goodness!
Give us V5 watch. What's going on?
I get so excited. No, they're great. They're literally and this is kind of what we'll get into for our topic today. But I think this is a massive step up from the V4 Plus.
Okay.
In that, dude, they're so much more responsive. Like I can't even tell you how much better they are in terms of like it is. Okay, so you know how the V4 Plus is like an out of the box, no break-in time, just take it in. These are not that. These are not that. I had them for about an hour session on turf on Friday, and that's when I sent you guys a video because the lockdown in these is absolutely incredible. Like I sent a video to these guys showing I could not get the boots off. I had like the Apex grip socks where they run up the back, and I was like physically like struggling to get them off. Which like the only other boot I could think of, like I know that the Tiempo 7s and 8s I had a hard time getting off, but this was like on another level. Like you guys ever get your ring like kind of stuck on your finger?
Yes.
And it's like, oh fuck, am I gonna be able to get this off? Like for like a minute, because it was the first time I had taken them off. I was like, am I gonna have to like drive home in these cicalas and like get my wife to help me or something? But yeah, so lockdown is awesome. And on turf, was really enjoying them, played a little bit with the kids, and then today I went out and played pickup, and I started with these, and our Texas field is so shitty. It's like there's literal rocks poking out of the ground, and so I felt like I was playing, and it was good at first. It was really responsive, and then I felt like I just kept feeling the studs under my feet just a little too much, which was like something I had an issue with in the previous model, and that's when I swapped them out for the Relay 2s, because like this is as neutral as it gets, baby. So that's when I sent you guys a message, and I was like, actually, like I think this boot is incredible. I think if they had upgraded the sole plate, it would be like just that notch above the Pred 25. But that Control Frame 2.0 sole plate is so good. Like it's so good as like a more like neutral on like the ground that we play on here. Maybe not necessarily for turf, but they have the AG plate for that. So I think if I'm playing on turf, this will probably be my choice, because even with the little lacrosse section here, I feel pretty safe, and I don't feel as much stud pressure. I will say that the friction elements to this, I don't think they really do. I didn't notice that at all. It wasn't like, oh wow, it's really sticky, or it's just there, Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's were my overall thoughts. I think it's a huge upgrade over the 4 Plus, like I said, but there is definitely some break-in time that comes with these.
Matt, before I continue, do you have anything you want to say or ask Colby?
Not much to follow up on. I appreciate the little marks of dirt just to let us know that you worn them.
Right. He was just in his backyard like, come on.
Yeah, he's like rubbing it in.
There's a certain reviewer out there who sometimes the boots look completely clean and shiny, and sometimes there's some dirt. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
But that's why I will say this, like that's why I really appreciate guys like Andrew Lockhart, who spends like days on days, and James and Noah's got like those really long playtest videos, because you like know that they've actually taken them out and taken the time, and don't put them on for like 5 seconds like me with the kids in the backyard, and you're like, oh yeah, that's great. I'm gonna gas this up
Best
forever.
boot ever.
Right.
Every boot should be this.
No, but I mean, this was like like turf. We did the pickup, had my own backyard, so definitely a lot of. I will keep going with these. It's just I need to break them in a little bit more.
Okay.
And if we play on turf, this is my first choice.
Okay. Matt, did you have anything else you want to add?
How's the upper feeling after a few wears?
Great. Great, dude. It's like I said, it's soft. It is not nearly as soft as the V4 Plus, but it's soft, and it's also just way more responsive. then like I wasn't expecting one of my buddies. We kind of had like a 1-2, and I like just completely destroyed it on accident because I didn't think about like how much like the ball was going to bounce off of the midfoot of these. It was it's like just getting used to it.
Okay.
Gotcha. What would you compare it to?
That's a tough one because it's not quite like a 25 hybrid touch, and it's not quite like a hybrid touch like messy. It's kind of its own thing. Like it's difficult to say, like because it's not really leather like. It's definitely still a synthetic, but it's more comfortable than like an F50 or something.
Okay.
Like
is
it's
it
almost
kind of like a Tiempo or no?
Kind of. I would say it's closer to something like a I think it's closer to like the old what do they call it? Hypo knit? Like I think it's like almost like a more rugged like hypo knit Furon or something, or like the old Tequila with just like a more reinforced. Like that's all I can really say about it until but it's not like overly like synthetic leather feeling. It's more synthetic than like leather synthetic.
I was gonna say to me, like the way you described it, it reminds me of like the CTR Maestri 1 and 2, where you know, something like that, like just a little bit of oomph, but it's still pretty soft, or maybe even like not the Magista with the collars, not the Obras, but the Opuses, the first. They're not the takedown, the alternate high end models. That's what it kind of sounds like just like a good, comfy ride, but like it doesn't. I don't know. I don't want to say it's like a jack of all trades. It doesn't do anything like through the roof, but it does everything right.
Right. And it's super thin too, and also it rides so close to your foot. Like you can see like the knuckles of your toes, like on top of the boot. Like that's how close it sits to your feet, which was also kind of. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't freaking like Alpha 2 like on my foot, but it was definitely like a little pressure, and it definitely has some give. Like the Pred 24s it was kind of the similar experience, but there was no give to that boot, and these actually have. Like I can tell that this is going to break in a lot better.
Okay, and did you go 9.5 or did you go up 10?
Yeah, these. Sorry, I didn't say this in the last podcast. These are true to size now, so this runs exactly like how I would want it on my foot. Okay,
perfect. Yeah, so really it sounds like, especially with the sole plate, is like it works on AG, it probably work on FG, but in Texas. Texas kind of has like HG, like we have pretty hard as shit.
It's super.
So that does probably why you feel some of the pressure. It's kind of same thing with me and the control frame 2.0 on my Preds. Like it starts to wear on my feet after a while.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, they're super light too, dude, and the touch is great. Like it's a very nimble feeling boot. Like you feel like you can take the ball and take off or turn, or push off. It's very nimble, which is nice.
So like if you could take only like kind of like the current gens, like of all the brands right now, would your Franken boot for the year be that Tequila with the Predator sole plate? Would that be kind of like your unofficial?
Yeah. If I had to take all the gens, maybe like an Alpha like Zero Glide insert or something. Although then I really wouldn't be able to get the hell out of this shoe.
Help!
Crap! Cut me off. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's a good way. Yeah, control frame 2.0 underneath the Tequila would be excellent.
Okay, final question before we move on to the topic. This is the way I kind of judge how you feel about boots. Okay, this is like my personal. Now you bought them from a reseller, so you're stuck with them unless you sell them on. Okay, let's say you bought them from a specific vendor who we refuse to name in this podcast. Okay, now that you know what you know, if you had paid for these, would they be going back? Or would you keep them?
I'd give them a little bit more time, and if I had like 2 more bad stints in them, I would probably send them back. But I don't think that's going to be the case with these. I think I'll really like these. I think it's just when I'm going to choose to wear them.
Okay, yeah. They kind of just sound like that boot, like how I feel with the Rotera, where it's like they always stay in the bag. Like, you know, they're just kind of a good go-to. Like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to throw the Tequilas on.
Oh, yeah. Well, performance-wise, like if you're playing a game for like a serious game, two 20-minute halves or something, like I'm definitely wearing these boots because the performance aspect of it is so high. Like if I would not wear like Merle 2s into a like high performance
For
game.
sure.
Like
yeah.
no way.
Well, just like I wouldn't wear a Copa Pure 3 laceless.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Like these would be my first go-to.
Okay.
For something like that. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. We got Vizarro. Kilowatt.
Vizarro.
Jeez, what a throwback. Wrong name. I'm getting all the old silos still stuck in my head. Okay, so let's move on. We're gonna get into today's topic. We're gonna go top 3 best, top 3 worst, like boot gen improvements, disprovement. What is the negative of an improvement? Degradation?
Downgrade.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what do you guys want to start with? We want to go best or we want to go worst? I think best is interesting, but I think worst is always more fun and kind of like more interesting.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, let's start with best. So we're gonna go 3, 2, 1. All right. So you're number 3 best. You're in number 2. Okay. So Matt, I'm gonna let you start this one off. Number 3 best improvements.
All right. This might be some recency biased.
Oh God.
But Copa Icon 1 to Copa Icon 2.
Did you wear the Copa Icon 1?
No, my buddy had a pair.
See, you have failed me already.
Yeah, well,
this is just because
boot.
Justin likes the Icon 1.
Yeah.
Because it's good.
Yeah.
I know ball. Kobe, when have I ever led you astray on boots? Ever.
Probably never, man.
Exactly.
You're batting 1,000 here.
And you're like, I'm getting these Copa Icon 2s. I'm going to love them. I'm like, you probably won't love them. And they fell apart within like a week. And then Matt fell out of love with them like 2 more days later.
Hey, Matt's got the super glue on his, bro. He's gluing his back together.
No, I didn't fall out of love. I just said the durability is questionable, and then I super glued mine, and they have been fine since.
He's like, I didn't fall out of love. I just love things more now.
That's true.
There
That's
you go. So see? Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so Copa Icon 1 to Copa Icon 2, you think was like one of the best improvements ever?
Yeah, I think because I think it's because no one expected anything from this line.
That's fair.
Like the expectation was almost like nothing.
Yeah.
Like on the ground.
It's the floor.
Bare minimum. Yeah. The floor. Everyone's like, okay, this is just like a cheap, thick, rugged leather boot that Adidas is making just to, get something in that price range.
It's like the Gloro's older brother, like,
Exactly.
we don't care.
Yeah. And then like this one, they're just like, you know what? We're throwing our Japan team on it. We're going to make it a Morelia Neo, and they just knocked it out of the park. Honestly, the only complaint I have about that boot is durability.
Okay. That's fair. You know what didn't have durability issues? The Icon 1. Colby, what is your number 3 on improvements?
Dude, recency bias again. I'm gonna go with these, man. Like this was a hell of an upgrade. Hell of an upgrade. Number 3. Let's go.
You sent us that text this morning, and then you put this as number 3. That just blows my mind.
Bro, it's because there's other better upgrades.
All right.
Okay. So mine's kind of a hot take. Going from the Adidas Predator Precision to the Predmania.
Oh.
That's not a hot take. I saw that comment.
I feel like that would be number 1.
I was like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
So many people love the Precisions. So, I mean, because it's like the goal that shook the world with Beckham. So I think those memories stick. But I just think like Mania is like pinnacle pred.
Dude, those Precision remakes were like bulky as hell, bro. Those were tanks.
Up.
Those were tanks, man. Dude.
You know what I love? He's like, oh my God, the Mizunos are too thin. I can't wear these. And then he's got like the Predator Precision remakes. He's like, oh my God, these are so bulky. You can't wear these. You're killing me, Kobe. You're killing me.
I think some people would argue that the Mania is less Predator than the Precision. I think that would be the argument because it has less rubber elements. It's like more slimmed down. It's more streamlined.
Yeah.
But I think from a performance perspective and a comfort perspective, it was a big jump.
I would say that those people are wrong.
What, the ones that like the Precision better?
The ones that would say that the Mania is less Predator than the Precision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I would tell them they're wrong to their face. Like Matt Damon.
Fair.
All right, Matt, give me your number 2 improvement. What are we going with?
My number 2 is not going to shock anyone. It is the F50 Adizero 2013 to the F50 Adizero 2014.
Oh, great shout. Great shout.
Not to say the 13 was bad by any means, but it definitely wasn't the best boot.
Yeah.
and the 14 was fantastic.
The 14 is pretty. Let's be honest, it's pretty great, and it had some great colorways.
Great colorways. It was awesome.
Colby was into PT school, so he's just like,
How to study.
you know what? You go make that bread. All right, Colby, what's your number 2? What's your number 2 improvement?
Dude, my number 2 improvement is going from the Predator accuracy to the Pred 24, because this was a moment in time where it was like, I guess this is the kind of Preds we're gonna get like forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when they kind of came back to Preds in what, like 2019, like the name, and then it was like the weird kind of mutator boots and the freak, and it was like, okay, and then the accuracy
the worst
was
one
kind of
ever with the edge.
Shut up.
Yeah, the edge. Well, and then it was like the accuracy was, I feel like, the most normal boot that came out of that, and everybody was like, "Oh, okay, cool, yeah, like these are pretty good," you know?
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh, they can't top this. This is a normal boot." And then they went to the 24, and it was like nostalgic, and the tongue came back, and the anatomical fit, and the control frame 2.0. It's like, holy shit, like there's something here, and we've been riding this like crazy 24, 25 wave, and we're still on it. So yeah, that's definitely the biggest upgrade.
Loving it. I think all three of
Yes.
us are still loving this wave.
Yes.
Okay, so my number 2 is kind of like long-winded, but I think every time the improvement is there, so I think it like needs to be stated. So I went from Hypervenom Phantom 2 to the 2.5, massive leaps and bounds. Then from the 2.5 to the 3, we've gone massive leaps and bounds. And then from me personally, going from the Hypervenom Phantom 3 to the Phantom Venom was massive leaps and bounds. So I think like those, it's like really important to see that, like, because if you go from Hypervenom Phantom 2 to the Phantom Venom, you're like different planets. So I just think that those were all like big jumps and big wins each time.
Yeah.
Okay. Follow-up question. Out of those 3 upgrades that you've just said, back to back to back, what's the best one?
I would say, I'm going to say probably 2.5 to 3. 2 to 2.5 is a pretty big jump too, though, honestly. But no, I think 3 is just like such a, I think because outside of Noah, you look at the popularity of the 3 and it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
So that's why.
I think it was the best performing Hypervenom.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the 3 was great. The 3 was great.
Yeah. And then to your other point, Justin, I feel, and we've talked about this before, where it's like, did Nike back the wrong horse by not going with the Phantom Venom and going with the Vision and upgrading the Vision? It's like, why'd you do that?
The Venom's the one too where it's like it had like I think like 6 months, so it's kind of like it never really got a chance to really get going, and it was during COVID.
That
you guys
COVID
remember
boot,
that?
yep.
The COVID boot.
It had some cool colorways too, bro. It had like, that was like when we got like the really like bright orangey colors and the bright neon colors, and yeah, there were some
the throwback colorways.
Oh, the DNA pack. Whoa,
Yeah,
so
both of
good,
them.
bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's me. All right, Matt. This is important. Okay, this is your number 1 boot generation upgrade. So it better not be stinky. I don't want it to be smelly. So give me a good one.
It's not stinky, it's not smelly, but it's the exact same as Colby's number 2. The accuracy to the Pred 24.
Respect.
That is my number 1.
So I'm saying.
Now, one thing I do want to say, if we never got the Pred 24, I think I would still have a Predator in number 1 spot, and it would be the Pred Edge to the Pred Accuracy.
Yep.
That's fair. That's a great shout.
Yeah.
That was like one of those, like, all they had to do was be normal. They were like, oh, this is a normal boot from the Edge. And you're like, oh, thank God.
All right. No more Edge. Colby, what's your number 1?
Oh, jeez. This is a tough one for me, man.
The Legend
I had to
4?
go. Yes, so the Legend 3 to Legend 4. And this was a tough one because I was struggling with this one because I also thought Legend 6 to Legend 7, because arguably Legend 7 is like the modernized Tiempo, right? That's like 7, 8, and 9, essentially. But whenever Nike removed the tongue from the Legend 3, I feel like it became like a different style of boot, right? And that was kind of like the entry into the modern age. And like, of course, they advertised that it had like the ACC on it, which did nothing, but it was just a completely different. I remember like I liked the Tiempos back in like 05, 06, 07, and then it started to become dated, like especially with like the CTR there, the Vapor there, the Superfly there. I was like, and then you had the Total 90. And then once they kind of removed that tongue, it was like, hey, the Tiempo's kind of cool again. And then they moved into the 5, and it was like awesome in that 2013-14 lineup. So yeah, my answer is Tiempo Legend 3, Tiempo Legend 4.
Very nice. I thought you were definitely go 4 to 5. I thought that was going to be the generations.
No. I think that's a good move. But like, if we're talking on levels of importance, like removing that tongue, and then I think they did the Kangalite in the back of that. Like the back of the Legend 4.
Yeah.
So it was even like more structured and reinforced, and they changed the sole plate. So, yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to pick a Tiempo in this, but from my perspective, every Tiempo is still pretty good across the board.
Right. Yeah.
Minus maybe the 10.
Yeah.
But across the board, like, I don't think any of them are like huge jumps. They're just like progressively getting better. I think the Tiempo was like Nike's Mizuno boot.
Yes.
Yeah, like the Mizunofication, just like slight tweaks all the way through. It is crazy though if you imagine, like, we talk about like slight tweaks, but you know like that old saying, like if you're captaining a boat and you like get off 2 degrees from where you should be going, by like the time you're like miles down, you're like miles off. Like you've moved that much. It is crazy. Like if you think about Tiempo 1 to 8,
right?
Like the 9 is kind of a throwback to earlier, so I don't want to include the 9, but it's specifically the 1 to 8, or even if you go from 4/5 to 8,
right?
It's like those are miles apart.
The 6 to 7 jump was huge. I almost brought that one up because like the addition of like flying it, one piece upper. You've got like the Flywire cables and the coming through the laces. You got the Flywire in the back. Like it's just so like the construction cage. It's like this is a modern everything about it's like completely modernized. Like we're entering this whole new era. So yeah, but those are the 2 biggest jumps in the Tiempo line. I think like the 3 to the 4 and the 6 to the 7. In my opinion, of course.
Fair. Matt, were you gonna say something?
No, if I was, I forgot already.
Okay, cool. All right, my number 1. It kind of went on the same kind of like idea path that Colby did. I went with the Nike Mercurial Vapor 7 to Vapor 8. Because to me, the 7 was like the last one where they were like, honestly kind of focused more on the Superfly and what the 3 was, and that was a whole different beast. And the 7 always, the Merc line from like 4/5 to 7, the Vapor line was just kind of forgot about. It's kind of like the redheaded stepchild. And then when you go to the Vapor 8, like the Vapor 8 to me is the most like modern Vapor, like the thinnest upper I've ever felt, the most narrow shape I've ever worn, the scariest stud pattern and blades I've ever worn. Like those blades are so thin. I remember the back heel ones used to snap all the time. And like 2 blades in the back. Like what are we thinking? Like this is crazy.
Yeah, that was wild.
And the Vapor 8 like colorways, like all grand slams. I love that boot gen. And again, like the 7 to me was like such kind of like how Matt felt with the Icon. Like the bar was so pathetically low, and then they shot for the stars and made it. So like I have like golf clap to Nike and the Mercurial Vapor 8. So those are our top 3 best upgrades. Now this is the fun one. We're going to go to the worst. Okay, we're gonna get into some of the most terrible boots we've ever worn. So Matt, I want you to keep the ball rolling. Give me your number 3.
Number 3. Now, I will say, this isn't one of the most terrible boots I've ever worn, but it, on paper and by popular opinion, is one of the most controversial upgrades. So this is the Tiempo Legend 9 to Tiempo Legend 10.
Ooh, wow, that's a hot take.
Dude.
I'm still pissed. I'm still mad about it.
I'm still mad, too. I'm still pissed. Yeah, I would have put that higher than number 3.
Pissed.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Crash and burn, Matt. Absolutely right.
They're not that bad.
Yeah.
They look good.
Say,
they look great.
I will say, I just updated that like 2 minutes ago when I heard you bring up the Tiempo, Colby.
Okay.
Because to be completely honest, I kind of just forget about the Tiempo 10 in my head.
Same.
So when you brought it up, I'm like, oh, I have to mention it. So I have an honorable mention, but I'll wait till the end for that.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, we'll give some honorable mentions at the end. Now, Colby, What boot do you think has been a pretty bad downgrade? Not the worst, but pretty bad.
I went with the similar to Matt, the Puma King Platinum to the Puma King Ultimate. The Puma King Platinum, dude, Puma was finally back in the game with like their leather Predator, leather Puma King, and like everybody loved it. And it was one of those like if you know boots, like not like popular players weren't wearing it, like Neymar wore it for a second, but it was one of like this thin kangaroo leather upper, had kind of like a speed boot-esque like fit. The studs were maybe a little too long, but they were conical. And it was like, oh wow, like everybody, like I remember J Mike and Ja, they're like, oh dude, this is a great boot, and it was a favorite for a lot of people, and it was out on the market, I believe, for a little while, and then they're like, nah, screw it, we're gonna go synthetic, we're gonna make this heel super shallow, we're gonna make this called K better, and we're just gonna convince everybody that this is the way we're gonna go, and yeah, not a fan of the 1.0 or the 2.0.
Timeout, Colby.
Timeout.
Yeah,
You
I think you're
skipped
missing
a
one.
generation.
You did.
Oh, where did the Platinum go?
You had the Puma King Platinum, and then you had the Puma King Platinum 21.
Oh, dude, that's an even worse one.
It's even worse.
Exactly.
That's even worse.
So
it's
yeah,
so bad. It's
so
just,
before so in a way, the Puma King Platinum 21 to Puma King Ultimate could have been one of the best improvements because the 21, that's not even
terrible.
the bars on the floor. The bars under the ground.
dude.
Yeah.
They
The 21
destroyed
oh,
that thing.
I've never worn a leather boot that bad in my or stiff. That is the stiffest boot I've worn in God knows how long.
That boot is so bad. It literally got like blocked and
Exactly.
trapdoored from my mind.
Yeah.
That
You
is
started
so
saying that,
funny.
I was like, wait, he forgot the really, really bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you just got the name wrong, so I was just waiting for the explanation. But then you said like the K better. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Dude.
they just
Actually got
plucked that
better.
out of your mind.
See?
Well, there you go.
Fake news. We had to fact check him.
Guys, maybe that's why they did it. Maybe like they didn't go the Nike route. They're like, we're not going to end on like a good leather boot. We're going to really make this leather boot so bad they'll be begging us for a synthetic.
Literally.
Dude,
Maybe
good job.
conspiracy
Good job,
theory alert.
Yeah, and remember too, Kobe, the first Puma King Ultimate, how bad the heel was? We both have the same issue.
dude.
Remember
Yeah.
how low it was?
Shallow as hell, man.
Oh, smelly. Ooh, that was a horrible heel. All right, so for me, similar to the Hyper Venom, I'm going to do the long one again. Puma Future Z 1.4. I actually really like that boot. I think it's a great boot.
Yeah, it's a good boot.
Then going to the Puma Future Ultimate, starting to get a little stinky. Then we go to the Puma Future 7, smelly. And now we're at the Puma Future 8. And this might be recency bias, but there's nothing like from the 1.4 every gen, I want the Puma Future even less. Like I'm in the negatives. That's how little I want to try it.
Dude, the Puma Future Z 1.1 to 1.4, awesome. Like awesome boots. And then like Matt was mentioning this earlier off pod, but they had the laser touches on there, like just incredible. Like they ran maybe like a quarter size long, but other than that, like the look of them, the fit of them, the sole plates weren't bad. They're like half conical. I think the 1.4 was when it kind of like narrowed up on for some people, but yeah, I had the First Mile 1.3. It's an excellent boot, and I will not wear like a Future 7 or an 8. Like I just won't do it.
Yeah. They're just that bad.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, Matt. The 8 for me, you could give it to me for free. I ain't wearing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was essentially going to say you could pay me. You could pay me to wear the 8, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't take the money.
All right, Puma, if you're listening, if you pay me, I will wear it. I'll sell out so fast. No problem. All right, Matt, give me your number 2. What's another terrible gen?
My number 2 is very expected, but the Hyper Venom Phantom 1 to the Hyper Venom Phantom 2.
Yep. That's a people's choice. That's not a me choice. That's definitely a people's choice, though.
People's choice. People's choice.
I'm going with the people.
But it's at 2. I couldn't put it at 1.
Did you ever
but at
try
2.
the 2? Have you worn it? Or like even put it on?
I've tried it on, and I remember because all the hype around the 1, and I had a pair. I was like, okay, I'll try the 2. I'm curious with the knit sock. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Put it on, and I immediately was just like, what the hell is this?
Yes.
I was like, what did they do?
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because, like, okay, you remember how, like, it had, like, I think it's like an embossed or debossed lines. You remember that, Matt? Like on the upper in the strike zone. Okay, so I remember when I tried that boot on, J Mike was saying like, oh, it's for different things like flex, pressure, blah blah blah. And I remember trying it on and thinking, I'm like, these are in here so it can bend. You know, it's kind of like the same thing like how some people feel with the Edge. Like you're like, this doesn't bend. And then later, I remember like on a Boot Nerds pod, J Mike finally came out and was like, yeah, that's there. So like those boots can flex because like they won't flex if you don't have those lines.
Yeah, I heard a story from someone. I don't know if this is correct or not, so don't fact check me on it. But I heard during the testing of this, they essentially like taped people's feet and then they had them walk and run around, and then where the lines and the creases of the tape, that's how they got this design.
That's crazy. Weird.
Yeah.
I have not heard that part of the story.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of hope that's not true because that's wild.
That's mental.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the only thing I know is like two teams were literally like at war about that boot. And one team won, and then the other team ended up winning in the long run.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, Colby, what's your number 2?
All right, man. I'm gonna piss some people off, so you gotta get your pitchforks out.
Let's
get them out.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed already.
Oh shit.
Well, he owns something, so we're definitely gonna be pissed.
Okay. The Copa 18.1 to the Copa 19.1/19 plus. I hate those boots.
What?
Yeah, I told you. Get your pitchforks out. I hate burrito tongues. Straight up.
Smelly.
Straight up.
So
and if
smelly.
you look,
Okay. All right.
Hang on. Hear me out.
No.
Dude, no. Is this believe it right now? Dude, if you look at where the Copa Pure 3 is right now, it's essentially like the 18.1, like down the line. Kind of like Justin was talking about, like how these iterations, like if you look at the 17.1 and 18.1, it was a enclosed one piece, like K leather, like down like on conical studs. And then they were like, you know what? We're gonna do burrito style tongues. Like we're gonna change the sole plate. And they like a lot of people like the 19 and 20. Like I get that. I was one of those people, just didn't work for me. But they went from that to like the Sense, and then they went through I think they went from the Sense to the Pure, and then the 2, and now I feel like the Pure 3 is finally almost like this weird iteration of where the 18.1 ended, if you guys will.
That's fair. If we're talking specifically the 0.1 variation of this boot, I agree with you completely. But the plus models of the 18 is just so good.
No, you're talking about the 19 and 20?
Or the 19. Yeah. Sorry. The 19 and 20 are just so good.
Yes, and I have heard that argument where it's like if you take the laces off and you just have that pure K leather upper, like the touch out of the air is like no other. So maybe my gripe will be 18.1 to 19.1 to 20.1. Okay. And we'll take the pluses out of it. Let's just take the pluses out of it because that's a different feel, different boot.
That's fair.
Yeah, I can do the point. I would say you can't include the plus.
Yeah.
Because to me, like the Pure, it's the Pure 1, right? The first gen? Yeah. The Pure 1 is literally the 21 plus, and the Pure 3 is now like the 22 plus. Mm-hmm. Like those are like the successors to me. So again, I had the 17.1. It's fine, Gobi. And I know you love your 18.1s.
I love my 18.1s.
You can include the 19.1, the 20.1, you know, as much as Declan Rice loves those. But the plus, leave them out.
Right. They're out. They're out.
You got it.
Burrito tongues. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. That's total fair. For me, my upgrade also includes a burrito tongue. But it was going from the wonderful fold-over tongue that was the Pred Power Swerve to the Predator X.
Ooh.
Stink. We got rid of a fold-over tongue for a burrito tongue. We got rid of that cool, like, memory foam strike zone with the rubber to just, like, the pancake on top. Like, the Pred X is, like, besides the bladed sole plate, I do like that sole plate, too. There's nothing positive about the Pred X. There's no really good colorways. Like, even Beckham hated them. He like, had the most Frankenstein boot I've ever seen on that. So like, I think the Pred X is the boot that like the lost gen that we want it to die and just stay buried forever. Like, don't even look at it.
Yeah.
Fair.
So yeah, that's for me. All right, Matt. This is the worst gen upgrade ever. And now that you said it, I thought it was going to be the Tiempo. So I got to hear this.
Okay, fair. This is actually a follow-up to what Colby just said. It is the Copa 20 plus to the Copa Sense.
Yeah.
I hated the Copa Sense so fucking much. I remember I loved both the 19 plus and the 20 plus so much that I was like, okay, a new generation's coming out. I'm gonna get them. And I got the first one that came out, and I remember I wore them for 2 matches. Nope, that's not even true. I wore them for 1 match. Stiffest leather boot initially out of the box. Sole plate, thickest sole plate I've ever felt, and they ripped on me first wear.
Damn,
dude.
Yeah, someone stepped on my heel. Someone literally just stepped on my heel accidentally, and I literally ripped out of the shoe. Like that, the elastic that went down like the side.
Yeah,
that extra little bit of elastic literally just tore all the way down to like the toe box of the boot.
Warranty.
That is so funny.
That's crazy,
dude. It is wild. Like, I think that the weight, I think it went up like 2 ounces from the 20.
Oh yeah, it went from like 7.5 ounces to like 8.5 or 9.
Yeah, it was heavy. It was a heavy boy. The only thing positive I'll say about the Copa Sense is I like how Adidas put the 3 stripes on the heel and the rest of the boot was clean, because we hadn't really seen that before. But yeah, everything else about it was trash.
Yeah, the pods trash.
Yep.
The Sense studs, whatever the hell
trash.
those were supposed to do, trash.
I will say the overall just aesthetic of the boot I loved.
Yeah,
I thought it was
looked cool.
It was cool.
Boot. Yeah,
it looked cool, and that was the
that's
only
how
good thing about
people got fooled into buying it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy because remember when Joao Felix used to wear those?
Yeah,
he was the poster boy for the Sense Plus. As crazy. And now he's rocking Alpha 2s.
I know. He was the reason I got the Copa 19 pluses for the first time.
Hell yeah.
So maybe I just have a thing with Joao Felix's boots.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That is fair. Now, Kobe, you had kind of a wild take, so you're going to redeem yourself right here, hopefully. What is the worst gen upgrade that you can think of?
Oh, dude, it's easily the Tiempo Legend 9 to the Tiempo Legend 10. Like hands down, like that's the worst like generational move in my mind. Like it's you just killed everything behind it. Like that's how bad this upgrade has been. Like you literally killed an entire line. Good job, Nike.
So it's like I don't want to defend the 10, but I also don't think it's like dog shit. Like it's just so I've said this like a million times on the pod. It's the most like middle ground 5 out of 10 boot that you could make. Like you know what I mean? Like the just most plain Jane, boring bozo boot.
Yeah. Well, I think my biggest gripe is that it's just not a Tiempo in any way, shape, or form, and that's my biggest complaint.
My thing too is like it's kind of like Matt was saying. It's like you never really had to worry about it before. It's like I mean I think they threw a lot of people off with the 8, but like generation to generation, it's like this is different. Maybe some things like better. Maybe some things I don't like as much. But yeah, I'm a Tiempo guy and I'll still wear it and I'll just wear whatever comes out. And I feel like that was the first time Nike was like, nope, like we're just gonna completely
pull the rug out from her. Like
right,
gotcha.
Yeah. Well, even for me, like. When I would have like friends ask me like for recommendation on boots, and they're just like, I just want something like simple, comfortable. Every time I'm like Tiempo, try a Tiempo. Like you're gonna love it. If you don't want to pay a whole lot of money, get the Pro variation. It's still K leather, or it was at one point. And I was just like, just get that. And then like this just killed all of that. I was like, don't get the Tiempo, don't do it moving forward. So,
yeah, it is a hard boot to suggest. Like it really is.
Yeah.
All right. Number 1. Same thing as Colby. But okay, here's the thing. Unlike the Tiempo so far, besides the leaks that we know, this boot, generation upgrade, literally killed the line. So they renamed, redid everything, and it almost killed the brand. Okay? The Gen 1, we love. It's up there in the upper. Like if you know, Gen 2. This is
build
below.
up.
This is below like Copa Sense. Okay. I'm going New Balance, Vizaro 1 to the Vizaro 2.
Dude, that's my honorable mention.
Oh man, that is the worst. Like, that's not even like an abomination. Is not even the right. Like, it's like a. I don't even want to say bastardization. It's just like, I don't even know. Like it's the worst. I can't even say anything, man. It's so depressing.
Yeah, it's so bad. That is one of the worst boots of all time.
Literally.
Period. Yeah. And the only reason I bumped it from my list, one, I wanted to just bring up my shit talking of the Tiempo, but two, I don't think the Vizara one was like crazy good to like have that gap between the two be so drastic.
Yes.
If that makes sense. Like I had a Vizara one, they were fine, but everyone wanted it to be the Hypervenom Phantom one.
It was
just
a
wasn't.
stiff Phantom one.
It was a stiff, heavier Phantom one that didn't fit as well, essentially.
Yes.
So that's the only reason I bumped it. But this Vizara 2 is probably, if I had to make a list of worst boot of all time, this might sit at number 1.
Yeah, it's god awful.
Dang.
It's god awful. Like I can still find those on sale. That's how much of an abomination they are.
I'm surprised they just don't give them away at this point.
Yeah, and it's like it's crazy too because it's just like I don't even know what to compare it to with like other things where you're like, oh, like we had this thing that's like pretty good and run of the mill but pretty good, and then you literally went to like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, maybe you can compare it to like a rain boot. Like something just like stiff and chunky.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a steel toe boot. You know what? Okay, wait. I know what it is. Okay, imagine, Kobe, in your head. I'm going to paint you a picture, okay? Okay? In your head, you're wearing your Beckham Pred 24s. So they're softer, they're comfortable. Right. Boom, okay? The next thing I give you is an American football cleat with a steel toe. And I'm like, go play, buddy. You get on it.
There's no way.
Yeah, like that's
there's no way.
That's like you literally the whole. There was no DNA anymore. Like it was gone.
Yeah, but then the sole plate. Imagine like you have a turf plate, but then they took the rubber off and they put like a plastic sole plate on it.
Yeah, just
dude.
And we're not even painting a good enough picture.
Yeah, it's still not.
This is like stick figures of how bad that boot is.
Now,
I can imagine
if the Vizaro 2 is the worst boot of all time. Would we put Furon 1 as number 2?
Furon 1 is bad, and that's got a burrito tongue, so Colby would hate it.
Oh, dude, there's no way.
So now I want you to imagine this, Colby, okay? Take the Copa 19.1, 20.1, okay?
Yep.
Get rid of the leather, but keep the burrito tongue, okay? We're going to keep the burrito tongue, but instead of knit, the whole boot is made of the plastic on the toys that your kids play with.
I was gonna say glass, but yeah, it works.
Like it was like you could hear it like crunch, like.
Oh
yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
And the worst part is it was like a mesh based upper, so you would expect it to not be stiff, but it's like they took the mesh and then they sandwiched it between two like solid pieces of plastic and then melted it together.
It was horrible. The Vizaro would hurt too, man. Like, you want to talk about, like, that's a boot, like, we were talking about the Hypervenom Phantom 2. That's a boot that literally doesn't bend. Like, your foot just goes in, like, it's like this. So you want to pass the ball, it's like...
Yeah. I think that sucks, too, is, like, that sole plate was actually pretty decent.
It was too aggressive.
The rest of the boot just sucks.
Yeah.
It was too aggressive.
It's too aggressive.
I agree, but...
Yeah. Yeah, the Furon 1's up there. 1 through 3 is pretty bad. Then 4, 5, and 6 are like okay, and then 7 and 8 have been good.
Yeah, 4 is the one where they launched it in like that brown color, right?
No, that was the 3. The 3 is the one where they launched it with like the army green with purple and Volt or whatever.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
That's the 3. Yeah, that's the 3. Also terrible.
Yeah.
But okay, we're at over an hour. I'm disappointed in us. We do better, and we should be better. Matt, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at Burns Boots on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Colby?
You guys find me at Kicking with Kolbs on Instagram and on YouTube.
You can find me at Texas Cleat Collector on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can find us at Bootcast Pod on Instagram. And go down in the comments and let us know what are some of your worst boot gen-to-gen upgrade downgrades and what are some of your best upgrades. And while you're down there, hit comment, hit like, subscribe, smash the notification button, turn the bell on. I don't know what else you're supposed to do. And as always, if you've liked what you've seen and you want to see more, click down here to see more. Peace.